Hey guys, welcome back to another Pauper video. We are back again, trying to see if Green Red Ramp can compete in this metagame. Hey guys, welcome back here to another Pauper video. We are playing some Green Red Ramp, fairly stock list to be honest. The main thing is the 4 flex slots, which we've tried in the past to be a 2-2 split of Oliphant and Evo Witness. 4 of Summon Fat Chocobo, etc. We've tried it as other cards in the past, Vines, etc. We're trying it as Ram Through, and that is basically the only change, right? So we've got the normal 16 lands, the no tap land, which is very important because you need to go 1-3-5, and like I cannot stress how important that is. Is that basically if you are not going 1-3-5, like you are not activating your game, like actually deploying your game plan. And I also would like to stress, personally, I don't think I ever keep a hand unless I know I'm against a really slow deck that is just Rumble, like land Rumble. Like, that is super bad. If it doesn't have a 1-drop in, or I can't cast my 1-drop in, I generally don't keep it. Because it is so important to deploy that 1-3-5. Like, I cannot stress enough. Like, obviously 1-4 is infinitely better. Like, you want to go Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl into Writhing Chrysalis. And that is why we run the whole 12 1-drops. Obviously, the Ponza ones don't run the Wild Growth, which I also find really odd because they also want to go 1-3-5, quote, infinitely more than we do because they need to deploy that Thermocast on 2. So that's why I find that even worse or even more odd. But by the by, effectively our threat package is as follows. It is these 16 cards. It is 4 Nyxborn Hydra, 4 Writhing Chrysalis, 4 Bannerhide, and 4 Avenger Hunter. They all have different pros and cons. Avenger Hunter is really bad against flyers. Obviously, if your opponent can take the initiative, it is pretty bad. Writhing Chrysalis is obviously good at just clonking up the board. Nyxborn Hydra is really good at breaking through, and also great against removal because you can bestow onto a guy. Bannerhide is really good as just a deploy threat. It is good combat trick as well to hold in your hand because it has reinforce 2. So what that does, I guess I put this in the card view, right? So what that does is basically has reinforce, so you can pay 2 to discard this card and you can put 2 counters on it, and then you can pay 7 to exile it from your graveyard to put 4 counters on something as well. So for a total of 9 mana in 1 turn, you can actually put 6 counters on a creature, which is very relevant if you're putting it on a trample threat like an Nyxborn and a Avenger Hunter or even a Jewel Thief. So it does come up. We don't have the Evo Bannerhide combo where you can reinforce the Evo, bring the Bannerhide back, and you have a 2 mana sink to obviously keep recurring that. Basically, and the reason is because we're running 4 Ram Throughs. I think this card is incredibly important right now. The 2 decks I envisage versing the most at the moment are Jund Wildfire and Terror, slowly followed behind Red. So the Eldrazi one is pretty good if Red's the best deck because you get to deal damage, and if you control an Eldrazi, which is a spawn or actually repurposer, so you have 12 cards that make an Eldrazi, including the Rumble, you get gain 3. So you get kill their pinger plus also gain 3, which is incredibly good, especially in the main board. But the main deck I'm worried about is Jund Wildfire, and for that is the reason why I'm running Ram Through. And the only reason is because the 2 things that we are bothered about is them clogging up the board with Writhing Chrysalis and Crackling Charm and Toxin. The rest is irrelevant. What they do is actually irrelevant after that. So the main one we need to interact with is Crackling and Toxin. Ram Through does a good job of that because obviously you can kill the Crackling in response to the Toxin, forcing them to need 2 Toxins to obviously sort of kill them. And then if they were to have Crackling on its own, it is pretty difficult unless you're really late in the game for them to have that much artifacts. They would have to then have sacrifice a lot of their lands, etc. So then if you are prepared for that, you can obviously hold back a bit and play Ram Through. So it's that sort of balance. And that's why that is in the main deck. Just because I feel like I want that extra game 1 edge against Jund Wildfire. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. The deck's fairly simple. We're just going to deploy these 1-drops. We're going to deploy these 3-drops. And then we're going to deploy big threats. And then we're going to have some sort of lineage gameplay. After that, I've sort of... Sideboard is where the spice is, I guess. It's a little bit different than most. So effectively, I have 3 vines, and these 3 vines are basically, again, for the same reason, Crackling Charm. I just want more game against Crackling Charm and Toxin. So that'll up it to 7 answers to the Crackling Shaman. Vines obviously just have other uses. It can obviously come in against elves in a roundabout way. Not ideal, but it can come in against elves. It can come in against pretty much all sorts. Like removal decks, you can obviously protect your own creature with it, etc. So it does have those uses as well. But that is basically the idea for it. Then we've got 4 weathers. I don't generally... So, normally, I am a big fan of playing the Nihila's Disciple, the Spinewood Paladins, etc. because you can find them off Rumble. And that's a really important part of the deck, is not needing to cut Rumble. Obviously, I also play Evolution Witness, so that sort of amplifies that. But, ultimately, you just don't have the space for any of this nonsense cards. Like, no wrong, I really like the value if we're in a slower game, all that sort of stuff. It all adds up and is all great. But ultimately, the problem is now, because we've got no flex slots in the main because of the 4 ram through, every card in the sideboard needs to do something important. So therefore, you don't have room for 6 copies of Nihila's Disciple Spiral Paladin where you're going to see 2 of them a game. Maybe even 3 of them a game because you have Rumble, etc. You don't have that ability. So therefore, the one side... Basically, effectively, a lot of this time, we're going to be cutting either Ram Through or Rumble for a lot of these cards. Or Avenging Hunter because there's cards where matchups where that's weak. And that is generally the idea. But because of that, you just want your sideboard cards to be incredibly powerful. And that is the reason why we're running Weather the Storm. Is because there's no question about it. Weather the Storm is the most powerful life gain spell, and against these red decks is where you really want that. So that's basically why we're running Weather the Storm over the Spinewood Paladins, etc. Shin'en probably looks a bit odd because most people assume it's for the mirror, and that is technically true. But basically, you need game against other decks, right? So there's decks like Elves. There is decks like Jund Wildfire. Again, the secondary thing where you don't want them to clog up the board so you can't win the game and break through. Where Shin'en does a really good job of breaking through, right? So Shin'en just obviously eventually gets us there. Unfortunately, the downside is we most likely will have to cut Rumble. Because we'll have to cut 4 Rumbles and probably something else, right? So you've got these 5 cards to bring in. So that is basically the idea. So we've got 4 Rumbles, and I don't want to cut a Ram through. We probably have to cut like something like a Bannerhide, maybe, to sort of deal with that. But that is effectively the sideboard mapping for Jund Wildfire again, and it's mainly because of Writhing Chrysalis that we have to do this. So that is basically the reason why. Then 4 Pyroblasts is mainly for High Tide is the real reason, because that matchup is basically a race, and they're probably slightly edged because they have a little bit of interaction for us where we don't have interaction for them. And that is where the Pyroblast comes in. The only problem is with this is we actually don't have that many red sources, right? We've got 4 Jewel Thieves, we've got 4 Utopia Sprawls, and we've got 2 Mountains. So it's a bit on the low side, and it's a risk we're probably going to have to take, but I think that's fine. It also comes in against obviously other blue decks. Again, most likely cutting Rumble because we can't find it. We'll against High Tide, we'll obviously cut Ram through first, I guess. But yeah, technically it's it's probably it's a bit awkward, right? But yeah, Pyroblast is an awkward one. Usually, like obviously, if you're in that Terror slot, you want Relic of Progenitus, etc. That is probably one deck that we're gonna have to concede points to. Is probably Dredge with no relics in the side. And that's mainly because we're conceding the fact that Relic is good against Terror, but it's also good against other decks. It has a lot of splash damage, right? Can be found of Rumble, etc. Has a lot of bonuses. But Pyroblast is obviously the real card for High Tide, and I feel like that's probably more the problem than Terror is for this deck. So therefore, Pyroblast gets the trump on that card, on that one. And the final one, this could be Breath Weapon as well, but ultimately against mainly for Elves and mainly for Fairies. You kinda wanna keep stuff, right? So Avenging Hunter's pretty bad in the Fairies matchup, so you'll probably just cut 2 Avenging Hunters for 2 Fang Dragons. And then obviously you could remove the 4 Malevolent Rumbles for 4 Pyroblast if you deem necessary. You could probably just add in 2 as well if you want. It's completely up to you. But that is basically the mapping that I'm thinking in my head, and that is effectively to utilize the most powerful cards. If that's the case, let me think. So what against Fairies, my game plan here, my sideboard mapping's likely going to be Avenger Hunter. Avenger Hunter's bad, right, against fairies because of all the flyers. Like, obviously you have reaches, but generally it's not that good. So you want to cut these, and you've got to bring in your 2 of slot here, plus you're going to bring in some Pyroblasts. So if you're bringing in spells, are you going to then cut 2 more Rumbles for 2 more Pyroblasts? Probably. So if that's the case, then you probably want Breath Weapon, right? Yeah, so I'll change that to Breath Weapon now. Boop, boop, boop. There we are. So yeah, and that's the important part, right? Is obviously understanding how you're going to map against these decks. Instead of just saying, alright, this card's good in the sideboard, this card's good against this sideboard. It's like, how is it going to look in actuality? Like, obviously you're going to bring this in against White Weenie as well. Like, you don't need to map everything, right? It's obviously your main decks that you're going to fight against. Like, fairies and elves there. Like, against elves, I would probably just bring in these 4. But Avenger Hunter is actually not the worst in that matchup. It's not fantastic, but it's not the worst. You could bring in Vines as well to help stop Timberwatch Elf, etc. But that's probably not what you want to be doing. So then the mapping in that is probably literally going to be the 4 Rumbles for these, because you're obviously bringing in 2 Breath Weapons. And even if these were Fang Dragons, I'd still like to keep Ram Through in, right? So that doesn't change. So generally, you're going to look the same. Like, Rumble's the weakest card in this deck, and understanding that is fine, but also enhancing that is obviously the best you could possibly do. You make your worst card better by making slight adjustments. But yeah, so I think that's probably how I'm going to play this, and this is obviously trying to understand like a really important metagame call. This is obviously not a brew this time. This is trying to maximize this deck to its potential. Like, if I was going to Pauper again this weekend, I would probably look at playing something like, my top contenders would probably be something like this, because obviously it's me. I would never ever play Jund Wildfire. I wouldn't play High Tide. I wouldn't play Fairies. I would probably play Elves. And I'd probably play Mono Red Madness as well. So they're the 5 decks I would like to aim to beat. And they are the 5 decks that I think is Terra in there? Oh yeah, and Terra, sorry. Terra's in there, so obviously I'd like to look at mapping those. I'd say obviously the top 3 are Jump Wildfire, Terra, and High Tide. I imagine those 3 are probably going to be one of the biggest metagame shares. Obviously people do love Rakdos Madness, they love Mono Red Madness, etc. So that is obviously a given. And then obviously people love Fairies as well. So that's why those are the decks. But obviously you're going to try and attack those. We'd also shoring up a lot of weak matchups like Elves. So that is why we're here, and that is why I want to dive into this deck. Obviously a little bit to obviously look to see if this is the deck I would take. Because it would be, at my point right now, it'd either be Mono Red Madness. If I was going tomorrow, it'd be either Mono Red Madness, this, or Dredge. Those would be the 3 decks I would look at taking at Pop again, personally. And that is because I think they're all the most, the decks I enjoy the most and have the most reps with. But B, also they are decks that I think are soft meta that they don't, Mono Red Madness less so, but more offbeat, that people are less likely to be prepared for them, but I'm more prepared for them than they're prepared for me, which is how I generally like to play Magic. So, yeah. Sorry for the long deck, guys. It's been obviously 30 minutes, but I'm trying to deep dive into this deck, even though I know we've done this before, to understand everyone's position on this. And please let me know what you think about this deep dive deck tech. Is it too much? Is it too little? Whatever. But yeah, see you guys for round number 1. Hey guys, welcome back to round number 1. We're on the draw, but we have a very keepable hand. Let's see what we're against. Jund Wildfire. So obviously these things we've got to be cautious of are the wildfires, like actual wildfire. So they could play land here and just wildfire our land. We would get a red source if that's the case. Wellspring, okay. Nice. I want to play this one because I don't want to use this land, right? Like, I don't want to use this treasure, sorry. Obviously, Avenging Hunter is a good way of getting the basic out, right? But it's not really early on in the game. As we just get rid of this. Do they have another? Makes this a bit awkward, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, we can play this and take the initiative back. Or we can play this and fight. I think I'm just going to go for the initiative, though. I feel like it's too good not to, right? We get a red source here. They do get to take it back with Refurb, which I'm assuming is why they played this. Well, obviously it's a good card anyways, but we do get to have Ram Through as well, so we can Dual Thief Ram Through next turn. Fanatical offering 2. Pretty good solid line from them. They do get to potentially look at attacking and then play a Forest and a Writhing Chrysalis, but that's because they do get a Forest from searching here, which is not nothing. It's something to note, right? They got a Swamp. Interesting. Another Refurb here is tough, but it's probably going to have to be Dual Thief. I'd have preferred it actually if they played... Oh my... Come on! If you haven't seen my Ban Talk video, this is basically what I talk about this card. This and Writhing Chrysalis. Where, effectively... Okay, they're going to wipe the board for nothing. You want to go again to get my spawn. But, like, this is not a problem. Like, just for reference, this is not a problem here. It's the 3 refurbs that are now the problem. And I've now had to discard a Ram Through, Eldrazi, Repurposer, and Dual Thief. All through this. Which and that's the problem, right? Which is the scary thing. So I'm probably... So, like, now they're on 21. I now have to scry here, not trap. So we want to bottom this, top this. And again, this is now weak to a Cleanse on Wildfire, right? If they Cleanse on Wildfire this, I have to search because then I can't play a Writhing Chrysalis. There's lots of different problems with this. But again, my conversation in that video, right, is all about how this card and Writhing Chrysalis glues a lot of decks together, specifically Jund Wildfire. And the power in those decks is how many of one card can you see. Not how many Writhing Chrysalis and then refurbs can you see. It's how many specifically of one card. I.e. refurb it's a good card, but it's a mid card. It's a mid card here in like they see one of these, right? It's mid as hell. Right? They have a 2/1 fly that's made as discard card. It's a good on rate, but it's not backbreaking. It's not winning them games as such. They've seen 3 in the top 18 cards. That's what wins them games. And that is the problem with cards like this. To a degree, I've heard arguments that Terra's in that same boat. While I do agree to an extent, right, they're not as backbreaking as Writhing Chrysalis and Refurb. And that, however, is the problem with how the gameplay patterns that they create is why there's a problem with them. And I think that's basically it. We want to keep the Ram Throughs in. Obviously, as discussed, we want to kind of maximize on that. We're not playing any Deglammers. I don't know if that's a problem. It might be. But... And that's the biggest thing, right? That's what lost us that game. If they seen 1, maybe even 2 refurbs, we probably won that game fine. Like, they Crackland, they kill the board. We can then go Dual Thief, Ram Through one of them. Start getting into pressure, obviously get to the point of trying to save it, then take the initiative back, etc. Like, all that sort of stuff. We need another land here to be really good, but I think it's worth keeping. We're going to go land Arbor Elf, which is really awkward, because if we have land Arbor Elf, and then we're going to Utopia Sprawl on red, of course. Land. Pretty awkward. So here, obviously, something like a Deglammer would be great, right? Just Deglammer this land. They don't do anything on the next turn, sort of thing. Then we set up to have 4 mana the following turn. But now we have 2 mana for a Ram Through. Like, this is also another value point, which I've had success with Elves, is basically you can run Exile / whatever Artifact hate, and it's good against Jund because a lot of their red sources come from the bridges. They only run, like, 1 mountain. They have a Lembas. Okay. That doesn't increase the mana, right? I also don't want to put this on here. I think I am fine just playing this Eldrazi Spawn. So I tapped that for 2. I unplayed once. I have 1 mana left. I have 3. So I can still only play 4 mana spells. Do I just play a Bannerhide? My problem is, like, so this maximizes us really well. So, like, next time we have 6 mana. Again, what does that achieve? Like, if they wildfire this, I'm then screwed because I go down from 6 mana to 2. So I'd rather just play this. This is also the awkward part about Ram Through. Ram Through costing 2 is a big a big pull. Like here in particular, it doesn't make that much of a difference, right? Because if we wanted to ram through, we could have rammed through there. But how do I describe this? But basically, being 1 mana, like you end up having to hold up stuff like this. Discard the mana hide. It's semi-free discard. Have they found another one? I don't know. Wildfire's land. All of the above. Wildfire themselves. Okay. I am relatively surprised at that, to be honest. I imagine if we Utopia sprawled there, we would have got them. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Play a forest. Again, like if this was a... So 1, 2, 3. So I think I have to go Jewel Thief into Ram Through on this. And then follow that up. So let's do this. Hit that bad boy. I'm still not going to deploy this, even though they did. Maybe I should have, but I don't know. I feel like if I do that, it just sort of like, I'd rather split it out a little bit. And that might be incorrect. I also think if they have another refurb here, the Utopia Sprawl's a good discard. Because we don't want to lose any of these threats. Yep. And this is an awkward problem. That they get to do this. Sure. And this is all just because we're having mana issues, right? This is the problem. So they kill the spawn too. And get to Fanatical offering it. Jesus. Yeah. I just think the big thing is at first game, they got hard variance, right? They seen triple refurb and then they won the game because of the looks like that. Here we've seen 1 land. And they boggers. Not that that matters really. There's a banner hide in the bin, but we've got 2 mana, so it doesn't actually matter. I now feel pressured into doing this, right? Because this at least nets us mana. I don't want red, I want green. Because I only need the 1 red source. This gets a treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then this like presses us into potentially having Avenging Hunter next turn, which kind of doesn't work because they're going to Writhing Chrysalis here and stabilize. Yep. And they have 2 mana here for a kill spell. Okay, I think we've just basically been bullied in this game because we didn't operate. Again, we had all the tools both games. They just didn't get there. See you guys for round number 2. Hey guys, welcome back here to round number 2. We're on 1 currently, but lose faith we do not. Okay. I would assume this was Big Jump Wildfire, but I know it's Lost Cano, so it's Mardu. And that makes sense. They've been playing this like Black Mage's Rod sort of pile lately. So I am going to split this out because they do generally run Wildfire, right? But they're not normally, but since Black Mage's Rod, their pile's been a Wildfire pile. Gonna bounce the land, well. You know, Wildfire to double it up? No. Okay. That's pretty interesting, right? I still think we just banner hide though. Like I could go Jewel Thief and ram through this, but I'd rather ram through a Skyfisher for the start off. And also this is just a bigger threat, right? Forces them to have a Galv Blast in particular when they've already cast one. Glinthawk. Play land, Glinthawk. Do they bounce the Synth? I imagine they do, right? Because they don't want to lose the land drop, but there definitely is a lot of cards that whiff there, sure. So I'm going to attack here, see if they force a Bolt. They don't block. Interesting. We will cast this. And then I'll pass the turn. Yeah. Just because I want Banner Hide and Ram Through up. They took 4, okay. They're going to try and race us here. It's a pretty interesting situation. Cleanse and Wildfire. Are you going to Cleanse and Wildfire one of our lands? I imagine they just hit their own, but... Because there's nothing that really backbreaks us. Yeah. Because we split these, there's nothing really that... Are we getting refurbed? No. You're swinging for 4. It's an interesting situation, right? They've got black up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. While they're tapped out of red, I'm going to do this. Double ram through. Is that lethal? 4, 8. 8 plus 9. Attack double ram through. Seems pretty goated. Boom. Boom. The burn spells! Mardu. So obviously, decks like this, you kind of want the glamour, right? But I don't think we want Breath Weapon. I think Breath Weapon's a trap here. We kind of want Vines. Could also want Shinnin. I'm probably going to board 1 in and just cut the rumbles completely. We just want to deploy stuff. The vines are good against... The reason I'm bringing in vines is because, first of all, I think they're going to board in Crackle, Charm, and Toxin Analysis, which is why I want it. And then secondly, keep your hand. It's good against, obviously, the Galv Blast removal sort of thing. I'm going to just play this. I normally prefer to play Arbor Elf, because obviously you get 4 mana on the turn 2. But on the other side of things, I half expect... nice. I half expected... This was an incredible draw, by the way. I half expected a Galv Blast there on the end of turn to then wildfire my land sort of thing. Now, this is a solid play from them. Obviously, ruins our land drops to start with. They're going to White Source here. And then Lembas. They don't have a Vines. They don't have a Bolt. Sorry. I should have been more clear. We're going to have to play Jewel Thief here to hold up green for removal. But green to protect against removal, sorry, I should say. They have 4 mana here. Galv Blast. So here we are going to protect it. This could be bad because of casting the fire, right? Casting the fire. Cast down. This is also fine. I'm going to crack this to get another red source. I need another land here. That is not what I need. So basically I can go ram through on this. Attack for 3. Untap, play Arbor Elf. It's really weak into Crackland. Or I can attack for 3 then just play Repurpose. I think I just attack for 3, play Repurpose, right? They don't have many artifacts in play. They do have a Lembas in hand, so they got 4 unknowns and a Lembas. Obviously the Arbor Elf's pretty awkward, like if they try and kill it. Got double ram through again with trample stuff. They hit Swamp. So they have Lembas and a Stouter Glinthawk, I'm guessing. Yep. Glinthawk, Bouncer Synth. Black Mage's Rod, pretty solid card. The only thing that I really don't like about they get to hold up a Galv Blast effect, which is pretty good. Are they going to Galv Blast one of these now? They attack for 2. They don't attack for 2. Another land here is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's naturally okay. So let's attack here, and then we get to go block, 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 block. So I'm gonna go ram through on. I guess this doesn't matter, right? We're gonna go ram through on this with this. See if they bolt us. They don't. Okay. And then we kill these 2. 1, 2, 3 as well. Do we go again? Let's try this. If we get them, we get them. Wow. Take 1, 2, they take 5 there, down to 11. It's pretty good going. We definitely got blew out by a burn spell there. So I'm impressed that they didn't have one. But I guess they would have bolted this a lot earlier, right? Yeah, Glinthawk, sure. Glinthawk replay the Black Mage's Rod. Solid. The problem is we didn't get the big explosive ram through, but we definitely gained a lot of value there. 2 mana for a Lembas, sure. We lose 1. They're on 11. Another Jewel Thief. Gotta play Jewel Thief here, and then attack for 6. Yet again, they double block the Jewel Thief. Yep. We gotta tap this, and then we get a Banner Hide here. Banner Hide using this. The Blowout! Nice. They're on 6. Obviously, Crackland Shaman yet again is a problem, but Black Mage's Rod, sure. Synth, Galv Blast. Okay, so our Jewel Thief is out of Galv Blast range, which is pretty nice. Especially when the thing didn't play it now, so they killed the 3/3. This is totally fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just trying to work out if I could ever scavenge the next turn. I can't, right? Writhing Chrysalis is a good draw. So we'll just start with an attack here. The block that take 5, go to 1. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm assuming they gain 3. They kinda have to, right? Because they would die to another ram through there. So they have to play it there. And we get a Writhing Chrysalis. The King of Pressure. The King of Pressure has landed. I still don't need to deploy this Arbor Elf. If they have a refurb, it stops them drawing a card. If they have Crackle Enchantment, there you go. Like, this card's not doing anything for us, really. It's like giving us one more mana, but ultimately I think them not drawing a card here to gain an out is a lot better. They're going to crack the synth. Sure. Get a lightning bolt. I'm not F6'd, so they can't hit the writhing chrysalis here. So we can scavenge as well here, which is also quite important. And they're choosing not to bolt. No. Pretty interesting stuff. It's pretty close what they're going to do. Okay. So they've lost their bolt. Right. So they must have a cast down. Is that where we're at? Go block. I feel like I just want to attack, right? Because if I scavenge on this and they cast down it, I just die. Whereas I can just attack here anyways. And play Repurposer. Yeah, they definitely have a cast down here. That's what that smelled like. It just smells like a cast down. Sure. I'm surprised they did it there though. I guess obviously Nyxborn is a problem. It's a swings and roundabout, right? Like 4 Nyxborns is a problem. There's 4 Nyxborns versus 2 Vines. Obviously don't know the exact list, but there's an amount and an amount. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 2 cards. Synth. 1 card in hand. Be intrigued to see what that 1 card is. There's a cost Skyfisher. I'm assuming they're just going to bounce the Black Mage's Rod. Obviously bouncing the synth. They are fully tapped out. Block, block, block. Not everything is lethal. Utopias, bro. So does that mean I put it on a spawn? So if I go that on red, that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's probably our best out. So do this for red. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have to put this on the spawn. And this again just maximizes our chances, I think. Then I have to go block. Yeah. They don't win. Did I misplay that? No, because I needed the 4 mana off the Arbor Elf, right? So it's not lethal here. Because nothing has trample. But they definitely can't. I can't imagine they win from this spot with a Black Mage's Rod and an Unknown. Exactly. Our opponent just says GG ram through carry, which obviously, as you've seen there, the double ram through give us that much tempo. Game 2, game 1, he obviously just won us the game straight away, and that is kind of. It's also good but bad at the same time because there was a lot of spots where we could have just cast the Eldrazi fight spell a lot earlier, but obviously we always had that out for Crackdown Charm for sure. I'll see you guys for round number 3. Hey guys, welcome back here to round number 3. I think this hand's capable. We have a 1 mana spell, but we have 2 1 mana spells. And if we draw a land, particularly a forest, another red white, yeah. I'm still going to do it this way, even though I like to play the Utopia Sprawl to stop they're against Jeskai, so they could spread this. They're going to wildfire themselves. Yep. So we get actually Writhing Chrysalis here on 2, which is incredibly strong for us. They are Jeskai of the Ephemeris. Okie dokie. Get wrecked, opponent. Interestingly enough, with us 3 wildfire decks right now. I don't know how much that's worthwhile. Like, it's not a crack on Shaman deck, so that's pretty important. They wildfire themselves. Are they getting another red sauce? They get another blue sauce. Huh. This is super interesting. You know that thing I was talking about refurb? You know, like something in multiples. This is basically it. Like, we've not only got 2 2/3s, we've now got 2 6/7s, is that? It's actually more than a 6/7. I think a Spell Pierce? No. Oh, and we get an Avenging Hunter here. Sure. I think it's safe to say we got the nuts. Are we getting Counterspelled? Force Spiked? No. So we got Red Land hit. Oh, that was so funny. Sure. So how does Jeskai interact with us? Removal spells and counter magic. Is it worthwhile bringing in Pyroblast though? So I don't know if Ram Through is going to cut it right. It's a lot of interaction points. They run Scred, they run Lightning Bolt, they run Destroy Evil. Vine seems pretty good, that side of things. So that's a fine swap. Then do I just bring in... At this point, right, I'm cutting a Rumble to fix that. I'm now adding in one extra... I'm actually not adding in any more spells, but then the spells that I want to hit and don't want to mill off a Rumble. Do I just rely on draw here? And go for Pyroblast? Maybe the deck I don't verse very often, so it's hard to sort of map my way around. And I can't even... I'm bringing a Shin in at that point. Do I just cut them and I didn't keep in 2 Ram Fruit? Like, I feel like 3 Pyroblast is enough, right? I feel like that's probably better. Yeah, this could be wrong. And it's them sort of slots in the 2s that are the weak points, right? So you're just trying to fathom out what the best way forward is. Like, because you're not hindering your game plan at that point. Again, we can't keep this on. First mulligan. And then no 1-drop. No keep. This is a bit better, but we don't have a 3 or a red source. We can play Bannerhide. We do keep this. Do we just bottom a Pyroblast? Probably. Sure. I would have bottomed the land if I obviously knew that was going to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not great. We need a 3-drop, but it doesn't mark as encounter. Wait, what? Oh. Sure, thanks. Thank you. Red. Why, thank you. Do you have another Wildfire? It'd be pretty annoying. I have a Lorien for a white sauce. Play a white sauce. I mean, sure. Gladly. Thanks for playing. Here's my TED Talk. Muldrifter, sure. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Yeah. So here I would like a Ram Through, a Pyroblast, anything to stop this coming back down. They played a Lamb for the turn. They're also pretty close to killing this, I guess. Well, I guess they're not because of the Repurposer, but in theory they are. I mean, okay. 1, 2, 3. So I can make this slightly smaller. So if I sack one of these, I leave a green source. That brings 2. Then that means I can, yeah. So I sack one here. My Magic Online decides to load up. It makes this one slightly smaller, right? And then I'll leave a green source. And that's 2 spawns. 1, 2. I play a Repurposer. So again, max amount of pressure here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 I could hit for. I don't think that's wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they take 5 here. I wonder if they have an out to this. I can't really see what that is. They're obviously just going to draw a lot of cards. Stonehorn Dignitary is an out, I guess. I could have just played Bannerhide as opposed to Repurposer. Left Repurposer in my hand. I don't know how good or bad that is. But I don't know. Oh look. You ask, and it appears. It's a 4 toughness. 8 cards still in hand. No land drop. Oh no, they have a land drop. Discarding. A bolt. Oh, Ram Through. Avenging Hunter. 5. Again, I think I just go sack this. I guess it didn't matter actually. I'm just trying to make it so I am telegraphing a red and a green card here as well. We are going to get a mountain. And we are going to pass the turn. I don't know what we do here. I don't know if we're supposed to scry here, try and find a Ram Through, but the most I have a count spell. I guess it all depends on what they do this turn, right? Like this whole Ephemerate loop crap might win them the game. There's also the argument that we could technically go around the dungeon 3 times and 15 them. Well, there's the second Ephemerate. They only generally run 2 as well. That's the annoying part. So I think we need to try and scry for a Ram. Scred our Avenger Hunter? Scred our... Oh, Bolt our Repurposer? I mean, I don't think that's a problem. They have Counterspell open. Okay. Do I scry here? Do I try and kill? I think I have to scry. I have to try and find one of our 2 Ram Throughs. Bottom. Or a Vines also sort of does it. Pyroblast. Pyroblast does not do it, weirdly enough. Pyroblast stops the loop, though. Right? So we missed this attack. Sure. So we skip this attack. Play a land, which is actually really problematic. Because they can have Counterspell here. which is slightly annoying. So they have counterspell. I have to goat. Or goad, or whatever it's called. So they're going to flicker this, then flicker this. So I might as well get them to kill this, because none of these do anything. Vines. 3, 4. I guess I'm supposed to lay this out, right? So this is goaded, so that's give us less blockers. And then with vines in here, with vines in this. I'm going to hope that they don't have another counterspell. Because they're going to try Ephemerate the Ephemerate. Yes. Block. Destroy evil. I mean, slightly annoying. I should have double blocked. Okay. Okay. They're going to Ephemerate the Ephemerate. And then just straight up Ephemerate in this. I've just got to work through them, right? You got another counterspell. In your top 23. You do. Sure. Double Ephemerate. Double counterspell. Like, all this... this is very unlikely to happen, right? 2 Ephemerates out of 2 is pretty slim. And they have... I can't remember what it is, how many it is. Writhing Chrysalis is not great. Draw for turn. Nyxborn. Also not great right now. These are fine by themselves, but we can't beat Stonehorn, right? Is the problem. Okay. We'll see what they do. They're going to Ephemerate back and Ephemerate and all that sort of bollocks. That's fine. And then I have no real interaction point here, so I'm just going to have 6. So they Ephemerate our Ephemerate and then hit our land? Sure. I don't really care that much. And they Ephemerate, I would assume. Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. They just straight up Ephemerate that. They're going for less valuable players here, which is giving us more interaction points for sure. Throne. Imagine if we had a fight spell. So I think we have to go down the Avenging Hunter sort of initiative route, right? So we search for a basic. We are pulling lands out of our deck, shuffling our deck as well. So let's cast this with Bestow here. We have, again, no interaction. I'm not going to make this ginormous or whatever. I'm just going to go down the left-hand side and try and kill them. Like, this is their window as well. Like, they had a window last turn and they chose not to go for down the thing point, but... So we'll sort of see. Like, they should double Ephemerate here, right? That's what they should do. They should Ephemerate the Ephemerate, then Ephemerate the Archaeomancer to Ephemerate again. Definitely now with triple white. They're going down the minimizing route here, right? Even on Destroy Evil on the Writhing Chrysalis. Am I supposed to have 6 here? Yeah. So they Thraben and Charm the Nyxborn, which is fine. I probably also should have put it on the big Avenging Hunter. I feel like I am just supposed to go down best draw, right? And just try and kill them. I think. Don't know how much this is adding to the board. But we'll play it. Here they'll think about maybe playing around Vines or Ram Through or whatever. Maybe not. But we are just hoping for that interaction point, right? Pyroblast does it, another Vines does it, and a Ram Through does it. I think for the most part, a Ram Through is fairly lethal. Sure. You're now going to get back an Ephemerate. Interesting that they wanted 3 white sources with the access to 4 to before doing that. Which is pretty interesting. Interesting that they do it that way as well. Oh no, they need to do it that way. Yeah, never mind. Okay, 2 cards in hand. So we trap them down to 10. Pyroblast is an interaction point. Oh. Am I supposed to do it now? When am I supposed to? I think we have to wait till the target, right? With the first one. We're supposed to wait till the target with the first one because this maximizes the... minimizes their draw because then now they get to target this or this. Which is interesting. They target the Mold Drifter. This is where the double blocks cost us. Right? So now after all that turn, the double blocks cost us the game. Right? Because they've now got more looks at the cards where they wouldn't. We would have lost a combat, right? Don't get me wrong. We definitely would have lost a combat. Because obviously what would have happened. But we're now currently losing a combat. We're now not losing a combat, I guess. So maybe not. They've tried to dig out of it. Let's see what they've got. Yeah, nice. We were drawing a Vines and a Bannerhide. Nice. Managed to get there. Pyroblast is definitely on its weight for sure. See you guys for round number 4. Hey guys, welcome back here to round number 4. This hand's keepable. We don't have a 3-drop, but that's more forgiving than the 1-drop, right? Like, we need the 1-drop. We don't necessarily need the 3-drop. Black. Let's lead on Wild Growth. I don't necessarily need a red source, so I'm happy to do this first. I guess I should have Wild Growth for red, then done that on there, I guess, maybe. I don't know. No idea. So these are likely a Crypt Rat's Toxin sort of pile. So let's do this for red. Play a land. Unfortunately, no Rumble to sort of fix that there, but we're going to just start jamming stuff, right? Starting with, obviously, Writhing Chrysalis. Do we start with Writhing Chrysalis? They're going to refurb us here. And then we discard a Bannerhide. I guess we start with Writhing Chrysalis because it gives us more mana next turn. We're against, I would assume, like the Gardens Packdoll pile. Or they're going to sack this. All these cards are so much infinitely worse than Deadly Dispute. It's so funny. Hi. Here's my Writhing Chrysalis. I guess technically I can't F6 in case they have for some reason run Spinning Darkness, but like I don't think they are, but they could be. It's not out the question, right? I would assume they run less removal too. Just cast down my guy. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get to do this, I guess. Go Repurposer. Trigger this. This comes in. It sets up quite nicely, gives us 2 creatures on the board. Both of them, with the help of this Bannerhide, trade with Packdoll Terror, which they could tap out for here. Yeah, my biggest problem right now is I think the Glamour seems reasonable, but I don't know how necessary it is. That's the big thing, right? It's like, how necessary is it? How impactful is it? It's generally a lot... I don't know. Unsure. I could see the Vines sort of maybe turning into... So we hit them for 7 here. Solid. Also a solid line. So we hit for 7, see what they do. I'm concerned about... Oh, we don't get to do that? Oh yeah, we gotta do this and this. So I'm gonna Arbor Elf, and I'm gonna Jewel Thief. I am concerned about Crypt Rats. Crypt Rats plus Toxin, specifically. Like, I'm not really too fussed about natural Crypt Rats, right? So I don't want to go too wide. But this is threatening lethal for us. Not necessarily lethal for them that they know of. 4, 7, 10. Like 3 off, so we can double Bannerhide or Nyxborn. They're digging. They can't Crypt Rats plus Toxin now. Because it's a 5 mana combo. 3 for Crypt Rats, 1 for... Wait, what? The hell? Seems bad. Seems like a really bad inclusion, but you go nuts. And they sack this. They've played a land, so Snuff Out is the only card that they could have here. I guess. Wild Growth. So Wild Growth is more mana. So we put this on here. Whee! Everything has trample, and they have to kill an irrelevant threat. So they have to kill this to be to be irrelevant for the thing, but they're taking 4 while doing so. If they have a Snuff Out, that is. They have to Snuff Out this down to 11, then take 7. So they block this, so they have a Snuff. Oh, they're just dead. Okay. Cool. Vine seems good. I don't really think about anything else. I don't really care about anything else, right? Vine seems pretty good. I'm fine just cutting these 3. I don't know their exact list, but obviously I'm assuming they're just a Black Mage Rod deck. So here we are on the draw, and this is not keepable. No 1-drop. This is infinitely more keepable. Probably Nyxborn's the cut here. We don't actually have red, so maybe one of the Writhing Chrysalis was a cut. The put back, I say. Oh, it's a Lord of the Rings thing. Sure. I was like, what is this? I'm fine playing an Arbor Elf here because I drew the other one. Otherwise, I would have led on Wild Growth. There's such a high chance for us, right, that we get them. Like, we can like turn 2 4-drop if they don't kill this. Really awkward here though. So do I Vines or do I Arbor Elf? I feel like I Vines. I probably shouldn't have untapped that there. Oops. Okay. Because they're more encouraged to try and kill this Arbor Elf now, right? Now that I'm on one land. They Chalk and Sand. Oh, it's target creature. They have Chalk and Sands in the sideboard. Wow. We got wrecked. We got well and truly wrecked. Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, I think the sideboard strategy is fine. Just one land is not ideal. Maybe that's on me. This is a mulligan. Can't get a one lander like that. And this is a keep. We bottom a land. We need a red source. But like all of this isn't free, right? Like none of this is free. We have access to a 3-drop. Only on. Jewel Thief. Vines. So I'm going to put this on itself. Right now, no castables. Slightly annoying. Well, we have castables, but not castables. If that makes sense. Like, we can cast cards, but the cards are doing nothing. Like, I'm going to Vines their plant token so I can take 4. Even kicker it. Chalk and Sand is an interesting one. I don't think you want safekeeping. The biggest pull to it is the fact that the biggest pull to, I mean, fine. It is a 3 or a 4-drop technically, but it's not great. If they're gonna go swamp Chalk and Sands though, it's sort of okay, right? Because at least we have a 3/4 down. We can still cast Vines. We can still cast a Ram through. We just can't cast both. They're gonna attack. My God, why? Okay, and they play a Bog, sure. Go away. Into a random crappy removal spells. Give me a red source. Thank God for that. Red source. Writhing Chrysalis. I will. Actually, it doesn't matter. Now they have a cast down for the Writhing Chrysalis. Or do they have a Chalk and Sands for the red source? They have a land. And they have a Pactol? Sure. This is kind of okay, right? I would like this to have Trample, but that has Trample. I'm assuming if I attack, they're either taking it or blocking with the plant, which is fine. And then do I just follow it with a? Do I just kill it now? If that's the case, what do I do? 1, 2, 3. I need 3 green. 1, 2, 3, 4 green. I've got 3, 5. I don't want to Vines, right? I think that's the problem. I don't need to Vines though. So do I just play Jewel Thief? Jewel Thief. Can I play it? Yeah, Jewel Thief with 2 mana left over and just Ram through. It makes it worse because I have to sack both of these to make this the same power, right? 1 and 2. I guess the treasure, so I could have tapped it anyways, right? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could have done it anyways. I didn't need to sack the spawn. I didn't need to sack the spawns for the this and this. Goodbye. 4. Block. No blocks. Interesting. I guess the plant gets even more valuable now you've got Black Mage's Rod as well. Ram through. They are going to follow this up with 2 mana. I'm assuming like a Fanatical Offering effect on the Wellspring. I'm going to cast down this. Absolute. I feel like I might as well kick this. I don't know why, but I might as well. Sure. You tried and you failed. This was the awkward thing about the Writhing Chrysalis though, right? Sacking them, right? I need some other creature. Double Tide and Blade's really rough. I don't really understand why they're playing like traditional gardens. I'm going to keep this in hand. Play around Chalk and Sands and Refurb. Double Time Blade makes very little sense. Like, obviously it's good against Terror, but that's sort of it. Everything else it's actively really bad against. Out of the, like, say the top 5, if you will. Like, Fairies it's bad against, Terror it's good against, Elves it's bad against, Jund Wildfire it's bad against. Yep. Then on 2 cards. Oh, come on! Can I have some amount of pressure, please? They get to double block here. They don't. We pass. They have 2 cards in hand. Black Mage's Rod, sure. Do they have a Deadly Effect? No, they just have another Black Mage's Rod. Okay, trigger. We're taking a bunch of damage. They're getting a bunch of life. They're swinging for 5. They're definitely the aggro here. Which is a shame. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in Breath Weapon here, but Ram through. That seems pretty good. Let's attack. Are they going to block? They're blocking the plant. Makes sense. I kind of forgot the plant was there, to be honest. Hit this. We really need some form of pressure here. 2 for 6. If they have a non-creature spell, we die. I feel like they were still correct to do so. To attack. Maybe not. Yeah, we just drew blank, and that's the problem with this deck, right? Is you're drawn onto the draw step. It's always going to be its problem. You have to draw better than your opponent. I don't think we boarded in too much interaction. I guess we maybe did. Maybe we should just run it back. Or cut. I think ram through is it better or worse than vines? I don't know. Anyways, see you guys for round number 5. Hey guys, welcome back to round number 5. Let's see if we can 3-2 this league. This hand's a keep. It's not great, but it's fine. We have a 1-drop into a 4-drop. But not obviously on turn 2, which is the shame. But we have the potential, which is also the secret. They kept 7-2. I'm sure Otacon used to be a Boros player, but they are not. They look like a Wildfire player. Let's attack for 1. I'm not going to play my Nyxborn Hydra on 3. I think it does a lot better than that, right? Do you play Vault? No, you're gonna... Oh, we get him! We get him! Get wrecked. Tapland? So funny. As if we got him. We got him good! 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's cast this. Which is a solid card to cast into... Well, not a lot, really. You know, Wellspring. So we hit them for 7 here. They have a... Oh, they Grixis. Okay. We're gonna rumble here. We are going to pick an Avenging Hunter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we definitely pick Avenging. And then we're gonna attack for 7. I hope not to need to use this spawn, but hitting them for 7 is just too much value, right? And they get the follow up here with a refurb. I think if they go with refurb armies, we get to basically just discard Avenging Hunter and focus on ram through Nyxborn. Right? Like, ram through is obviously a bolt against refurb right now. Yep. This was sort of what I was thinking they were going to do. They were going to do this. Still have 3 artifacts, play a tap land, and then refurb for 1. They do have Metalcraft, though. So they can bolt the Bannerhide. Or Galv Blast the Bannerhide Ash. All these decks are good against. The Glamour is good against. So maybe we still need to find a way to keep those in. Which is the tough part. Because then you lose agency against like elves and such. It is tough to find space for everything, right? And that's kind of a problem. Maybe the vines need to come in the main set. But Ramthrough's overperformed this league. Like, surely we can't just go, right, let's cut that. Maybe the cut's Rumble. In all honesty. Maybe the cut is Rumble. And you just cut Rumble, put vines in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you going to play a Murray Boy? 1 mana Murray Boy? Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a land. Can't do anything else with it. So then do I just ram through? This is tough. I can do this now, not in theory, not lose mana, then play Nyxborn. Play Nyxborn for 2. They have Crackland though. Or I could just swing for 7, hold up against Crackland. I think that's much better, right? I just ram through this. Goodbye. It stops them gaining 7. Wild Growth was a good draw. 1, 2. But I think I still want to hold up ram through, right? So if that's the case, do I hit for 4? Tap out Nyxborn. 1, 2, 3. Tap out for Nyxborn. Swing for 4. Put them to 8. Nyxborn's a 2, 3. Here's an interesting decision point, right? So I can play Nyxborn, which I actually don't think I want to do. I think I just want to swing for 7. I think that's much better than trying to do anything here. We're just killing them with an Arbor Elf at this point. Thoughtcast, sure. Gonna dig for a Crackland Shaman as well. Crackland Toxin is basically their outright. They play the bridge, so they go Crackland Toxin. We kill it. They kill our board. Nyxborn, I'm guessing. You can do it in combat, but it's not really a mana advantage. No. I'm just trying to talk through. Like, so they go Crackland, hold up Toxin. They don't Toxin our turn because we've got 2 mana open. They wait till beginning of combat, then go Toxin. They got to play the Crackland. Or they're playing a Galv Blast. Galv Blast would be pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, they play Crackland. They probably shouldn't Toxin now, unless they are going to deploy Mirror Enforcers. They don't deploy it now, which makes sense. It all makes sense. I don't actually think there's a bad draw here either. Hold priority on that. Okay, so that way, now they had to discard the thingy spell is slightly annoying. So we need a land here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need a land as such, but it's better. Sure. So there you go. You get this. The fact that they didn't have a Toxin is quite amusing. So a land. Spawn. Next spawn's reasonable, I guess. It's just a 3/4 that sort of tramples. It gets through quite a lot. It doesn't get through a Mirror Enforcer, but they haven't got really. It doesn't. The annoying thing is, it dies to Galv Blast. Avenger Hunter is probably the weakest card here. Black Mage's Run. Solid. So, do they have a Galv Blast? Is the... one game. This is so bad. So we can bestow here. Tap out. They do not. I think we just attack. I think is what we do. We just attack. See what they do. Because I feel like they've got a Galv Blast. They do have a Galv. So we lose 1. We shoot this. They take 2. We play Aberelf. Or do we... No, I think we do. And we have to hope they don't have another refurb. So let's shoot this. They take 2. We actually probably should have shot this. This is probably where we should have shot. Because now they can sack this with Bargain. And gain some life. We play this. And then we pass the turn. Pretty close game. Again, it's also closer because we're not playing the Glamour in the sideboard. So it's going to be a closer matchup anyways. But we're just going to have to treat this like Jund Wildfire and bring in the Vines. I don't think we want the Pyroblasts either. Even though they'll bring it, they'll still have Thoughtcast and stuff. But I don't think that's ultimately what we want to be doing. So they have a makeshift munitions. They're going to shoot this. Pretty bad for us. They get to attack for 2. They don't have another refurb by the looks of this, which seems pretty good. I think I just have to play this, right? There's no point in playing this Arbor Elf. Stuck on 4 here is pretty bad. Milled over 2 lands with our Rumble. Maybe that is the thing. Maybe Rumble is the cut from the set. Wait, what? On there? Galv Blast. So they found 3 Galv Blasts in the top 20. And, 3 Galv Blasts top 20. No red source here. I probably shouldn't have played this out. That was a mistake. That was such a bad mistake. Oh my god. Problem is one of our mountains is here. Yeah, I also don't... I don't... They're going to sack this, kill this. Makes sense. And they're going to win with this 2-1. They get to play a free Mirror Enforcer, but they probably would have played it already. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to play this out. Because I don't want to get refurbed. There's a Mirror Enforcer. Need a Utopia Sprawl here. Thanks. Thank you. Red. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. The chance of having another Galv Blast is pretty slim. They can get to these weird positions where they can actually do quite well here, right? They can just attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, they can sack a bunch of stuff to kill the Writhing Chrysalis. But they're never going to tap out, right? They've got that much mana, they don't need to. 3, 6, 7, 8. They can attack here. They don't. Interesting choice to choose. Also interesting is that I would have been paid off here. I can make them sack a bunch of lands. I just don't know how good that is. I think I just pass. I don't need to do anything. Then I can play this land and then play just tap out Bannerhide on something. Probably a spawn in all honesty. No, probably not. Because then they have to sack 3 things. Another land. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They can end a turn, kill me, basically. So I need a good draw. They have a crack one. That seems worse, to be honest. I'm gonna need something. And that's not something. Little too late. We drew too much air for too long. Tap that, sack that, tap that, sack that, tap that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, I take 4, that puts me at 7, and then untap 3, 6, 7. And it doesn't matter if I attack either. So very annoying. Vines, come in, Rumble, cut, Shinnon. Don't Shinnon, don't Breath Weapon. I think I bought him 1 Breath Weapon. My main thought is right now, is I actually think Cut and Rumble seems like the correct choice. This smooth drawing is what it does. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very good at doing that, and I'm not disputing that, but it's not kind of not what the deck wants, right? You just want to run hot and just go 1-3-5, 1-3-5, 1-3-5, cast a bunch of bombs, have some protection up, stop that happening. And you just have to run hot like that. I cannot keep a one-lander on the play with an Arbor Elf. I can keep this, and I bottom the Breathway. And hopefully they don't have Great Furnace Bolt. Great Furnace Galv Blast. And so the chances are pretty slim, especially on the player. And then we're going to go Banner Hide here. They're going to Galv Blast this. Okay, we still going to go Banner Hide. I'm fine with that. And we're just going to dunk them. The awkward thing is here, if they have Refurb, which they're highly likely to have a Refurb, right? So, you go Refurb, then kill the guy. Nope. Cast down, kill our guy. Sure. Writhing Chrysalis, great card. No red. This is the problem with the two of, like, the 2/2s, in obviously, like, my previous lists. I've ran, what have I ran? I've ran Oliphant, which is sort of like a land that's also not a land at the same time. And it really does help find that red source, so you're maximizing on red as much as possible. But this is not it. I actually think the correct cut here is Writhing Chrysalis, because I just don't have red. I'd rather have this that I can play. I'm going to draw a red source here. Fucking no, I was going to draw a red source. This attack. I'm just going to play the Jewel Thief here. Sometimes the 3/3s just get there. Sometimes the 3/3s just get there. Let's see what they're working with. We're swinging for 9 here. They've got 1 power blocking. Currently. Crackland? Nope. No attacks either. Wild Growth. Let's swing. See what you got. 5 cards in hand. Reckoner's Bargain. Block Reckoner's Bargain. Up to 6. Take 6, now 6. Block. So this is the awkward thing, right? We've got twofold problems, right? We can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I do this. As awkward as this is, right? This plays into Crackland Shaman really badly, right? They then have to sacrifice 4 things or have a toxin to kill the spawns. I can then Banner Hide one of the spawns and then swing for 4. Is my idea, right? They have to play Crackland Toxin or Crackland sack 4 things to wipe my board fully. So, forcing them to have a Toxin here is not the end of the world. They have the Toxin. It's annoying. Very annoying, actually. I need to not F6. They don't have the Toxin? Wait. What? Are they sacking 4 things? No way. Oh, they're just, like, deadly disputing it? They're sacking 3 things. Okay. This is really good for us. But not really good for us, obviously. It's not amazing. I would rather them not, but it is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm all in on one spawn at that point. Is that good or bad? Is that a Wellspring? Interesting. Oh, I guess they must have drew it. So I just would put them at 2. Utopia Sprawl's the exact same, right? So put this on here. Name red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Banner Hide this up. Swing for 4. Alright, that's still not nothing. This beats a Murder Enforcer in a fisticuff battle. It obviously is lethal. It can't die a Galv Blast. Like, it's not nothing. The only downside is it doesn't trample. Yes. Okay. The mist on the map, that's really good for us. Next spawn. Ram through. Do they have an answer? Oh, God. Do they have a bargain? 7 goes to 9. I don't think we can afford to play around it, right? If you have a bargain, you have a bargain. It has to be a bargain as well. They've already cast 1, 2, so there's 3 others. I guess a cast down also works, right? Fuck me! Come on! It's so bad there. So bad. They only run like 2 cast downs. I mean, so... The Crackland strategy just... The whole point is we put these cards in our deck to be better suited against Crackland, and we're just getting obliterated by Crackland. Right. Okay. So, the idea in principle works, right? like the deck works in principle. My main thought is the Crackland strategy is obviously not working. We lost against 2 Crackland decks, and what else did we lose against? Oh, the kill spell deck. Like, yeah, okay. My main focus here, I actually think we want to do, is I think I've sort of like talked myself into this, is that we want to cut these, add these to the main. 3 vines seems enough. Everything's a 4 of. I'm on the idea that it probably should be an Oliphant. Oh, can I not type? Oliphant. And I think that's fine. That gives you an extra red source, an extra land, all that sort of blather. That then sets us up to play 3 Deglammers. Do we then cut a Shinnin? Or do we just play 3 Deglammers? I could see cutting a Shinnin and cutting a... I don't know. Maybe that's overkill, but maybe not. Maybe the true answer too is... Maybe we don't care about these. Yeah, I think maybe what I would do is I'd probably cut this, and either play a life gain spell or a breath weapon. Probably a life gain spell. Something like a Disciple. Maybe try something like this. And I think that might be the case. You've still got the same weak points, right? These 7 cuttables. The awkward thing is, how does your mapping look like in Jund? Because you want these still in, you want these still in. I guess you're going to cut 4 Avenging Hunters for 4 Deglammers. Not ideal. Like, Avenging Hunters sort of okay, but it's not fantastic. Maybe it's Bannerhide. Bannerhide might be the cut. Maybe not. Like, is that what you want? 7, 12. That's quite a lot of non-game plan stuff. Maybe you want the... I don't know. It's tough, right, how this deck deals with Crackland, Charm, and Toxin. There's so many different ways, but they're all not very good. They're all okay in certain situations. So I don't know. Unsure. Anyways, guys, this has been a deep dive. Like, obviously, a different sort of vibe to the video as normal. Please let me know what you think. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Of course, thank you for Daybreak for all these opportunities. And, of course, see you guys in the next one. Peace.